class. Last time we had an assignment that is write and record one of your most memorable experiences. I'm glad that all of you have done a very good job and submitted it on time. Today I'm going to correct some common mistakes in your work and give you some comments. First of all, let's read and listen to one of your friends' work.
The most memorable experience in my life happened 3 years ago, but I could recall this event very clearly. On the final day of my ninth grade years at secondary school, my father gave me 200,000 Vietnam dong for the good grades I had scored in my final exam. To enjoy it, I invited some of my closest friends to a restaurant for a meal. At the restaurant, I asked my friends to order as much as they liked. The food was delicious and we began to eat. We ate, talked and laughed at the jokes we made in school. After we had finished our food, the waiter brought us the bill. I opened my purse to take out the money. To my surprise, I found my money missing. Only then I realized that I had left the money at home. I wanted to borrow the money from my friends, but they had brought only enough money for bus fare. I told the waiter and he lent me his phone to call my sister and told her to bring the money to the restaurant. Ever since that day, I have stopped coming near that restaurant because I have afraid that some of the waiters might recognize my face.
Wow, it's so wonderful, isn't it? For the speaking part, the interesting story was told by a clear voice and easy to understand. She speaks fluently and also has excellent pronunciation with and with good intonation and appropriate pitch, which is also should be learned. Okay. For the drawing part, overall the structure is good and right tenses were used. However, there is still some grammatical errors in her work. Let's take a look. Okay, in the sentence number 1, the most memorable experience in my life happened 3 years ago, but now I could recall this event very clearly. In the former clause, your friend has used past simple tense, which is correct, but in the latter, the present tense should be used to indicate that although it's been 3 years, you'll still be able to remember exactly what happened. So the sentence should be the most memorable experience in my life happened 3 years ago, but now I can recall this event very clearly. Okay? Next, in this sentence, you cannot use the phrase 9 great years. You should use ninth grade or grade 9. This is my recommendation. Here, you don't have to say at secondary school. Grade 9 is enough. And look at these sentences. You can say that she used the money repeatedly. For the first one, you can replace the money by it to avoid repetition error. Because there is my money in previous sentence, so everyone can understand that it here is my money. And last one, we never use borrow the money. It would be better if you use borrow money or borrow some money. So the sentence should be I wanted to borrow some money from my friends. Okay? Now we move on to another work of your friend.
It was Monday and it was 8 o'clock in the afternoon. My parents were going to a wedding, so I had to stay alone. Outside was raining heavily. After a few minutes, my mom and dad left. When my parents left, I went to sleep. After a moment, I heard something, so I went downstairs to investigate. I grabbed a torch from my drawer so I can see. Through my mind, all kinds of bad stuff started going around. From the kitchen, I heard the sounds that I heard upstairs loud and clear. I hid behind a wall and peeked from there. Shivers ran down my spine so when I saw a thief stealing all kinds of jewelry we had. Now I was really frightened. I went upstairs and hid under the bed. I heard footsteps coming closer to me. I remembered that I had a phone, so I took it out. When the thief was gone, I phoned the nearest police station. Now I feel relieved. After I waited 30 minutes under the bed, the police came. I went downstairs and I saw policemen and the thief in handcuffs. After some minutes, my parents came and I told them the whole story. They were frightened too. This situation I was in that day was really frightening and I wish it never happened again.
Okay, according to speaking part, he speaks clearly and has quite good pronunciation with some minor mistakes. For example, alone, station, not station, or two, not do. Okay, and moreover, he needs to practice more to improve his intonation and make it more naturally, make it more natural. Okay, for writing part, the content is good. It clearly has three sections: opening, body, and ending. He used past simple tense to talk about an event happening in the past, but sometimes he forgot to use in some sentences. For example, I grabbed a torch from my drawer so I can see. Number two, I hid behind a wall and peeked from there. Okay, so 1 and 2 should be used in past simple tense. Number 1 should be I grabbed a torch from my drawer so I could see. Number 2, I hid behind a wall and peeked from there. Okay. In the sentence number 3, although it has the word now, you still have to use past simple because that feeling you had is at the time when you experienced that situation, not at the time you are telling this story. Okay? And one more thing I want to mention here is I really appreciate the way you choose the phrase "silver ran down my spine" to describe your extremely scared or frightening feeling. This phrase can give you a bonus in your writing. And that's it. Actually, I have received a lot of wonderful stories from you, but I only choose some to correct the most common mistakes that you may face in your writing or speaking. I hope that your friends and my comments can help you improve your writing and speaking skills. And remember, use past tenses when talking or writing about the past. Choose appropriate words and avoid spelling mistakes. Speak clearly and try to pronounce words correctly. Because you may want everyone to understand what you want to say, right? Okay, And last but not least, practice makes perfect. If you don't practice, you can be successful. Okay? Thank you for listening, and I hope that I can see you in the next video.